Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Aditi Singh and you are watching at Biology. So today's topic is blood bloating techniques, and please like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel. Okay, so let's get started. So first of all, what is bloating? Bloating is basically used in molecular biology for the identification of proteins and nucleic acids, and it is widely used in diagnostic purposes. This technique immobilizes the molecule of interest on a support, which is a nitrocellulosic membrane or nylon. It also uses hybridization techniques for the identification of the specific nucleic acids and genes. The bloating technique is a the bloating technique is a tool used in the identification of biomolecules such as DNA, RNA, protein during different stages of gene expression. Protein synthesis involves expression of a DNA segment which gets converted to mRNA to produce the respective protein. There are three subtypes of bloating techniques, which is northern, western, and southern. Depend upon the target molecule that is being sought. When a DNA sequence is the foundation or code for a protein molecule, the particular DNA molecule of interest can be bloated using southern blotting technique. During gene expression, when the DNA is expressed as mRNA for a protein production, this process can be identified by northern blotting. And finally, the coded mRNA produces the concerned protein. This protein identification can be done by western blotting. Okay, so now I'll explain each technique separately. So first is southern blotting. Southern blotting is designed to locate a particular sequence of DNA within a complex mixture. For example, southern blotting could be used to locate a particular gene within an entire genome. The process starts basically from electrophoresis of DNA molecules, which are hybridized in a blotting membrane, followed by a transfer step where DNA from gel is transferred onto the blotting membrane. Okay, so how do we do it? First of all, we do DNA purification. For that, DNA is extracted, which is present inside the cell, and to do that, we must first lyse the entire cell to enable the expulsion of the DNA. After that, we digest the DNA with an appropriate restriction enzyme, that is fragmentation, and then gel electrophoresis, in which we run the digest on an agarose gel. Then we denature the DNA. Denaturation is basically the step to convert the double-stranded DNA into a single-stranded DNA, because we need a single-stranded DNA in southern blotting. DNA is therefore denatured in an alkaline solution. Then we transfer the denatured DNA to the membrane and probe the membrane with single-stranded DNA. Then we visualize it, and finally we hybridized it. For hybridization, labeled probe is added to the membrane buffer and incubated for as it takes several hours for the probe to find the exact target sequence. The time required for hybridization, usually 1 to 16 hours, depends on factors like complexity of the probe and concentration. Okay, so the next technique is northern blotting. Northern blotting is basically a technique used for the study of gene expression. It is done by detection of particular RNA or isolated mRNA. mRNA is generally represented as 5% of the overall RNA sequence. This method basically reveals the identity, number, activity, and size of a particular gene. This bloating technique can also be used for the growth of a tissue or organism. In different stages of differentiation and morphogenesis, the abundance of an RNA changes, and this can be identified using this technique. It also aids in the identification of abnormal, diseased, or infected condition at the molecular level. Now, how do we do it? The tissue or culture sample collected is first homogenized, then the RNA sequence is separated in the electrophoresis unit, and agarose gel is used for the purpose of nucleic acid separation. Now the separated RNA sequence is transferred to the nylon membrane, and this is done by two mechanisms: capillary actions and the ionic interaction. Now the transfer operation is done by keeping the gel in the following order. First, the agarose gel is placed on the bottom of the stack, followed by the bloating membrane, and on top of these paper towels a mild weight is placed. The entire setup is kept in a beaker containing transfer buffer. RNA transferred to the nylon membrane is then fixed using UV radiation, and the fixed nylon membrane is then mixed with probes, and the probes are specifically designed for the gene of interest. Now, the bloat membrane is washed to remove unwanted probes. Labeled probe is detected by chemiluminescence or autoradiography. The result will be dark bands in X-ray film. Okay, the next technique is Western blotting. Western blot analysis can detect one protein in a mixture of any number of proteins while giving you information about the size of the protein. And it doesn't matter whether the protein has been synthesized in vivo or in vitro, that is inside or outside. Now, this method is, however, dependent on the use of a high quality antibody directed against a desired protein. And it tells you how much protein has accumulated in cells. Now, how do we go about it? First, we separate the proteins using SDS polyacrylamide gel electrophoresis. If you guys want a separate video on this, please let me know below in the comment section and I'll make a separate video on this. Okay, so this separates the proteins by size. Then we place a nitrocellulose membrane on the gel and using electrophoresis drive the protein bands onto the nitrocellulose membrane. Then we incubate the nitrocellulose membrane with the primary antibody, then secondary antibody. And to actually see enzyme in action, we incubate it in a reaction mix that is specific for a particular enzyme. Put X-ray film on your gel to detect a flash of light which is given off by the enzyme. The reaction usually runs out in about an hour. And this is the picture showing Western blotting. Okay. Next is applications of bloating techniques. As we all know, bloating techniques are widely used in genetics. So there are wide applications of bloating techniques. First is Southern blotting can be used in gene discovery, mapping, evolution and development studies, diagnostics and forensics. It can also be used to identify or to study deletion or insertion, then point mutation and polymorphisms, structural rearrangements. It allows for determination of molecular weights of restriction fragments. It also presents the particular bits of DNA in the sample. So that is advantage. Now let's talk about the advantages and disadvantages of bloating techniques. So first let's talk about advantages. Advantages are it involves many types of probes. It identifies inherited disease and infectious agents. It is applicable in single copy gene form and it is widely accepted. And the disadvantages are it is a time consuming procedure. RNA samples can be degraded by RNases, which are the enzymes only. Use of radioactive probes, which is harmful, and detection with multiple probes is a problem. Okay. Now we will talk about future perspectives. First is antibody validation by Western blotting. Validation of antibodies is an integral part of translational research, as we all know. Validation is essential to show the specificity of the reagent and to confirm the identity of the protein biomarker prior to implementing the biomarker in clinical studies. Antibody validation is basically the procedure in which a single antibody is thoroughly assayed for sensitivity and specificity. So it can be done by using Western blotting. Okay, so second is performing and optimizing Western blots with an emphasis on chemiluminescent detection. So immunodetection refers to any detection method that exploits the interaction of an antibody and antigen. So the choice of detection methods such as ELISA or Western blotting, it depends on the researcher's preferences and requirements. So if a researcher wants to quantify a low abundance target protein, then a chemiluminescent ELISA is used. And if a researcher wants to identify a protein that is in high abundance, a colorimetric Western blot will suffice. So this is the advantage of Western blotting, that it can be used in immunodetection processes and so on. Okay, thank you. And don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel. And if you guys want me to explain any topic of your choice, please let me know below in the comment section.